Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
While you're in sunny Florida, be sure to visit
WARlando! Enter into a world of epic adventure.
This is our 29th chapter, playing the Dungeons & Dragons adventure, Out of the Abyss.
Miss any gold?
So what do we think? Based on the numbers that we added up here, I came up with a little north of 31,000 gold pieces, which is in various gems, coins, treasure, things like that. But the value of it all is something like that you all pulled out of the levels of Undermountain that you explored. So we're discussing what we don't have a great record of what you all were carrying before that. So Silky, you were saying something about a deposit or something?
Yeah, I think once we had gotten to Waterdeep, we deposited what we had in the various institutional banks of the city, right? If I'm recalling correctly. I could be wrong. Because I feel like they asked if there were banks.
I don't remember that if we did, but it doesn't mean that didn't happen.
Yeah, I think we did. Yeah.
Okay.
I think I said if there was an iron bank of Waterdeep.
Right.
The Iron Bank
Right
was not known for
good terms.
For just a deposit.
Okay, well, unless anybody objects, let's go with that. Let's see you guys put a sensible money market account together before you went into the dungeons.
Yeah.
What was?
And
what
yet
was
we bought no health things.
What was the size of the deposit? Do we know?
I do not remember. I haven't been taking good notes. I'm sorry.
I'm
Or
sure
any-
size
I
of
haven't been taking any notes.
Any notes?
Well, I'll say the last time I remember you all getting mostly back to zero, or pretty close to it anyway, was when you went shopping in the Duragar city, right? And Adam,
Right.
everybody bought a bunch of stuff, right? There was rapiers and great swords and armor bought, all that stuff.
But I definitely took the lion's share when I bought my plate mail. My
Right.
suit of full plate. That took a lot of money.
Yeah. I bought street food.
It's a good call, though.
Right. So I want to say I think we were, at least at the scale we're talking about now, at thousands and thousands of gold. I think y'all were pretty much back to zero at that point. So whatever you gather between, which I guess would have been through Neverlight Grove and through the deep known town, which I'm spacing out on the name right now.
And then all the little rooms and everything.
Right. Well, Blingdenstone, thank you. Whatever you collected in those two places and all the travelings in between would be what you came to Waterdeep with. And I guess, other than items that were grabbed, I don't remember there being a ton of treasure in the middles there. But am I misremembering?
There were gems. There were a few places that had a bunch of gems.
I do remember grabbing diamonds at some point for my for one of my spells.
Yeah.
Okay.
Chromatic orb.
So I'm going to throw out, do you all think like 8,000 in various gems and stuff coming into Waterdeep scenes in the right neighborhood?
I think so.
I think that's fair.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So
there's 5 of us. What if it was like a nice round 10,000?
Well, I was going to round up for you and just say with the north of 31 and that 8,000, and we'll throw in a little fudge factor for bookkeeping error and just who knows what else. Why don't we say a nice even 40,000 total right now between what you're carrying and what you're in the bank?
All right.
That sounds.
Can we live with that?
I guess.
All right. From now on, we'll keep it in the bookkeeping channel and try to do a better job with it. I'll try to remember to put the treasures in there. It's as much on me as it is not keeping track of everything else. So, but that sounds about of the right scale anyway.
Yeah.
So, cool. All right. Is there anything else we want to cover like that in that vein before we sort of sync back up to live action?
Are we still in a bubble? Way up in the air.
Yeah.
Yep. You are?
Okay.
Okay.
This is my question.
So I'm gonna strip down, put everything in my backpack, tie everything to my shield, take out 200 feet of rope, tie one end to my shield stuff and one end to my waist, and hope for the best.
All right. All right. Put a bookmark there, but who wants to like, what's the filmmaking technique where it's like the visual cue, right? It's like there's like a weird door close or something like that, and you're meant to remember it later when something else gets back up. You're like, yeah, Mornhelm's naked and all this shit's tied to his waist. Who wants to give a quick recap of where we remember? It can be the last 5 minutes of live action. It's been a little while since we played here, but just to kind of set the scene for what's about to go down, if you'll pardon the pun.
Mark, you know we're always going to volunteer you, right?
Anyone? Euler? I'll do the other stuff. You guys do the recaps.
Nope. It doesn't sound like anybody wants to do the recap.
No?
I'll take it.
Recap king.
You guys were blasted on a steam jet out the top of Mount Waterdeep inside a cube of force that Wave created for you.
Yeah, it's like blowing out of the top of the chocolate factory in Willy Wonka.
It's exactly like the glass elevator scene, except there's no elevating. It's just you're just like riding the jet of steam that you guys popped out on. And so you come out in this kind of 10 foot by 10 foot by 10 foot cubed wall of force that you're all safe inside of. And you kind of blow up into the air and you look out across Mount Waterdeep, and behind you is the bay and the sea beyond that, and out in front of you is a bird's eye view of the City of Splendor. And you all have the moment to appreciate it before you start to come back down. You are about 300 feet above the city streets and tumbling in toward the city. What would you like to do?
Slowly or quickly?
Run toward the water.
Accelerating at the rate of gravity, as per.
Oh.
Yeah.
30 seconds.
Wave, can you slow this down?
Nope. Wave says, well, it doesn't really fly. I can't really control it. I just got us through the steam.
Oh, good.
It'll probably be okay if we fall. It's a cube of force. It should be fine. I mean, I'll be fine. I've done it before.
Why don't you throw Wave toward the water? I'd rather land in the water.
I mean, can I control where the cube of force is headed at all?
Not really. I think your options are something that keeps you from falling, or take your chances on letting the cube of force kind of hit the street and see if it holds up.
Let's see what it does.
We're about to die.
That's why I'm all tied up in my shield.
Didn't you cast something like Feather Feet or something like that?
No, definitely not Feather Feet.
Featherfall?
Featherfall.
Maybe that was it.
I was close.
You're not a turkey.
Nope.
I like Feather Feet. I wonder what that. Okay. That sounds like an interesting. I'm gonna have to make something out of that. That sounds awesome, actually. Yeah.
I like you guys, but if we get within 30 feet of the ground, I'm gonna Misty step out of here.
All right, I'll go ahead since everyone seems a little nervous and naked too. Looking at you now.
Just for the record, I'm fully clothed.
I like your style, Mornell. I'm gonna go ahead. I'll go ahead and cast Featherfall.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you guys slow down and kind of have the ability to sort of, if you want to, by sort of smashing your shoulders against the sides or sort of otherwise influencing the way the cube goes as you fall down a little more slowly, you can sort of direct where you want to land in the city of Waterdeep. So where would you like to end up?
Well, as long as I'm ready for a swim anyway, I'd like to end up in the water.
and you're coming down at a safe pace now. So
only 8 feet a second.
Do we want to make a grand entrance?
The grand entrance, right in the throne room.
Well, yeah, and I guess you guys can see as you like part of town where you're coming at, like down maybe to the southeast of where you're coming down, you can see the castle Waterdeep. And as you start getting closer, there's like these you start to see come into view. There's these armored knights on griffins that are flying about between the parapets.
Oh, so cool.
Air defenses of Castle Waterdeep.
I want to use my new riches to buy a griffin.
How much for the griffin, sir?
Hey, you!
I can determine a random location if you guys want, or you can tell me a place to aim for in Waterdeep.
Well, the only real place that I know in Waterdeep is that really cool bar that we
decimated.
And
the Yawning Portal.
Did we really decimate the bar?
Yes.
I call shenanigans. There were others and a group effort involved. So
there was explosives involved.
There was a rowdy crowd that night.
Yes, it was a rowdy crowd.
The place is called the Yawning Portal.
Very yawning now.
I had a half-drunk glass of like a margarita. I wonder if, drop in and finish our drinks.
That's true. You still got a warm beer on the counter in there that you didn't get to finish. I was watching the new HBO documentary on Woodstock 99 last night, and that's like what I'm thinking of now. It's like, oh, the artists did it. They did it. And the artists are like, yeah, but you were scumbags,
Yeah, exactly. I don't care. It's up to all of you. I mean, wouldn't mind stopping in for one.
Do we see any water flowing out of the Yawning Portal?
In for one.
Roll perception. See if you can spot the Yawning Portal from up here.
All right, I get advantage, which is good because first rolled a 2, so 25 with advantage.
Nice. Yeah, you do spot it as you kind of get a little bit closer to the ground. You kind of see, oh yeah, we followed that street and over here, and you kind of are able to sort of figure out where you ended up, and you do see it. And curiously enough, it looks like there was some kind of first thing you notice is there's this sort of big hole in the roof, presumably from where you ripped the pulley through. And but then even more curiously is it looks like there's a whole crew of people working on it, and as you get closer, it looks like it's a crew of dwarves.
Interesting.
Do we want to drop in there or avoid having to pay for the damage we've done?
Didn't we know a little something about this Yawning Portal? Don't they have like ratings and and you get to watch everybody down below and yeah.
Sure, people bet all the time on how long fish are going to survive and all that.
I was going to say probably best ratings ever, huh?
Has anybody looked at us yet?
Oh, did anybody place bets on ourselves before we went down?
Oh, that would have been awesome.
Missed
I went back and specifically listened for that, and I did not hear it.
I placed a bet just as I was buying some more health goods.
Always. What do you think? Hmm?
I think we should probably avoid it. I think they'll make us pay for the damage.
Yeah.
Come on.
I've only got eight pieces of gold, so
We didn't sign any legal documents. I don't remember.
So they'll arrest us for
For what? Having a good time? Huh?
yeah.
out of the goodness of their heart.
Yes. Oh, come on.
All right, I'm going to say you guys are about 50 feet in the air, and nobody's noticed you yet, but you're probably not too far away from starting to draw attention. If you want to go away from the yawning portal, you still got enough room, but it's right there.
Everybody to the left.
I'd like to aim for the nearest bank.
All right.
It just,
What was the name of the bank?
can we cannonball through the side of a bank? Maybe.
Just fully pan it.
Yeah.
Joe's Bank and
Just
Emporium.
Could we do it again to the yawning portal? Just smash right
back through the hole.
Right through the rest of the roof.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Just don't go back through the hole and
You know, honestly, I think we have to now.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah. We're probably legends.
Exactly.
Infamous one day.
We are in our own mind.
And we got
Legend.
hats and everything.
Yeah.
Mark, I think you need to get out your axe and be playing as we fall through the roof.
Oh yeah, let's do that. Yeah, as we descend. Oh, this is glorious. Yeah. A little medley.
All right. So you guys feather fall in a cube of force through the hole in the roof of the yawning portal. And as you're going down, like a bunch of guys are in there working on it, and all of a sudden they're like, "Wow, look out!"
And you hear the music.
This guy jumps out of the way just at the last second, and you guys kind of right back down through the hole in the roof and smash a couple of 2x4s on your way through and land right next to the bar in there, and the cube of force sort of dissipates as Wave senses you guys are back on solid ground.
Excellent.
What are you playing,
Bartender,
Mark?
set him up.
Oh, what am I playing?
Yeah.
I want to do something like power chords, like some Yngwie Malmsteen. That probably nobody knows that stuff. But
right.
it's just all guitar, crazy chords.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just bending the notes.
Yep. So you're just riffing, and you guys are just standing there laughing and clapping each other on the back to safety, right back where you started a couple of nights ago. And then you hear the door from the behind the bar smash open, and Durnan, the owner of the yawning portal, comes out, and he says, "You've got a lot of balls coming back here."
You bet we do.
I mean, I don't, but they do.
Mornhelm has his on display.
Yeah. Hey. Yeah. I cast Mage Hand and just do a little. See. And then I slap. What was his name again? The owner.
Durnan.
Durnan. I slap him on the back with my Mage Hand as well.
He says, seen a lot of shit go down in this place over the years, but
you haven't seen anything like this.
No, pretty good show. Now, that being said, I had the city guard in here ready to go look for you clowns. I figured you guys disappeared out of here, smashed my place up, and we're gonna haul ass into the wilderness or something. It's a good thing you've got powerful friends, I'll say that much.
We have friends.
We do?
And as he says that, you hear a curse outside, and you hear this voice say, "Hey, put it back in the way I told you properly. It's a stonemason's job." And the door from outside opens up, and this armored dwarf walks in a helm and clambers up onto the bar next to you all and just kind of stares at you for a second. And then she removes his helm and looks at you and says, "Morning, Helm. It's been a while."
Yeah.
And you recognize your old friend, Eldith.
Yep. Eldith.
Get out of here.
Take a ride on my back?
She says, "I'd like to, but, you kind of left us high and dry there a little bit. What happened?"
We didn't throw you to the dragon.
Well, you've got that going for you. She sort of like grimaces at you and like stares at you. And then she just can't help herself and just smiles and says like, "I figured you got into more shit than you can deal with and had to book you." It's all right.
We were being chased by a dragon.
Yeah. During this conversation, did Mornhelm at all get dressed? Or is he still just... No?
I mean,
all right, that's cool.
I'm still pulling in the 200 feet of rope.
Yeah.
Over under.
Yeah.
Better wrap it right.
She said, Eldith sort of looks around at the rest of you and says, "Well, you look no worse for the wear. You all made it out of there alive, and I suppose that's as much as anyone can say about those times in the Underdark."
How did you manage to get all the way to Waterdeep?
She says, "That's a tale for another time, but I can tell you this, it wasn't without help." And she says, she looks over at Dernan and says, "As all the repairs are taken care of, you can draw on a note at the bank down the street. You can hand them this," and she sort of slides him a piece of paper, and she says, "This will all be taken care of. Compliments of His Grace, Brunor Battlehammer." And then she looks over at the rest of you and stands up and says, "You've all been summoned. You've been summoned to the chambers of Gauntlet.
Wow.
And anybody who would like to roll history can do so."
Okay. I'll just straight up and ask, what's a Gauntlet?
It's the ancient city of the Dwarves.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Possibly the first.
Got a 15.
Pretty good, yeah.
Based on my roll, I'm looking for my warm beer.
Yeah.
You'll know that, did anybody else beat a 15?
No.
Okay. You'll know what Mornhelm said, and also that the city is famously located in and around the Underdark and has any number of ways to connect back and forth between the surface world and the Underdark.
Yep.
But that also, although the ancient dwarves built it millennia ago, it's been taken over, ransacked, turned over, had dozens of wars and conquests come in and out, and it is currently occupied by King Brunor Battlehammer, but it's only been in this generation that he was able to take it back from sort of the Denzians of the Underdark, groups of, if rumors are to be believed, Mind Flayers and Drow and Durgar and who knows what else have occupied this fortress over the years. And so she says, and she hands you a flowing script and a parchment that's wrapped up tight with the seal of the king himself on it, which says, come at once to Gauntlet for an audience with King Brunor Battlehammer to discuss matters of grave importance concerning your experiences in the Underdark.
Okay.
Just let me get my underwear on and I'm ready to go.
And Eldith says, so then, you'll all come?
Sure.
Okay.
All right.
She says, very well.
We'll need some.
The ship leaves, and the next ship can be prepared to leave in 3 hours. Will that be enough time for you to make your arrangements?
Ship?
Ooh.
Oh, been on a ship before.
I think 3 hours is enough time to make a bank deposit and find an awesome hat, right?
You gotta get a ship hat now.
Yep.
Yeah.
And there was a P on the end.
So we have,
Restock our supplies.
yeah, we have 3 hours.
Unless you'd like to ask for more, or she's asking you, but you can tell she's on the king's business, so we'll make as much haste as possible.
I need to find a reliable cleric.
Yeah.
For what?
So he doesn't get squished anymore.
Should I ask Eldeth or Durnan?
I thought I took care of that.
Do you have remove curse, Mark?
Yeah, I cast it upon you before.
You did?
Oh, I just thought you said you were going.
You didn't tell me.
I didn't tell you.
We talked about doing it in between our episodes. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We got cross-tracked.
So, reliable cleric. Listen to you.
Doc, ma'am, can you spare the time?
Yeah, I didn't know you could do that, Mark. Yeah, absolutely. I will take your blessing.
I didn't know I could do that either until I leveled up.
Will you do me that favor and remove my curse?
I already did.
All right. You did.
I even cast it. I'm down a spell slot.
It's right there in the notes.
Is there any material cost to that? Does it require a gem or something?
Oh, let's see here. Double check. Remove curse. Nope. Verbal and semantic.
And how long does it take?
It takes one action. A touch is all it takes.
All right.
What happens in the wind box? Stay.
Right. All right. Your curse is lifted, Dak. And
awesome. Thank you.
You are no longer vulnerable to damage. Is there anything? So you guys want to visit the bank?
I need to buy some pearls and some diamonds for various spells.
Yeah. True.
Yep.
Oh, and I want to try and sell Dawnbringer. would I know of any I don't know, lawful good guilds?
Ooh. You know, you could sell it to me.
Maybe.
I mean, you guys have been a bad influence on me, but I don't think I can do that.
do you think that the I'll take you aside. You think maybe the dwarves might maybe a little oh hey, in good faith. Here you go.
A present for the king?
Yeah, maybe. Hey, Philip doesn't need it. And just put with put all of his other magical swords and hammers and whatever they do.
It's not a bad idea.
Still, maybe just a thought.
I think she wanted to get back to the surface, though, and I feel kind of bad taking her back into the Underdark.
That's okay. You don't have to. You don't have to feel that way.
Deep
because it won't be yours.
Yeah. Yeah. Then it'll be their problem.
This is a good point.
Yeah. Just a thought.
I'll take care of it.
Okay. I know you will.
I guess as part of your history check, the reputation of Gauntlet is also definitely that this, if there is anywhere in the Forgotten Realms is sort of the center of the smithing universe, this is it. Like, this is where good stuff comes from.
Yeah, so they could always smelt it down and make something else like cooler.
Ooh, or I could trade it for something awesome.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, not as awesome as you, Wave, but you know.
Yeah.
Everything out of that smith is magical.
Well, don't mind me at all. I'm just happy to be out of that old dungeon.
I'll give Wave a little snuggle.
She'll sing you a sea shanty.
Yes.
I'd like to stock up on healing potions.
Not a bad idea.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Maybe a lineup for that.
Yeah.
I know we're in a hurry, but I wouldn't mind a long rest before we hit the road.
Yeah, assume you can get
We're
that.
gonna be on a boat.
Oh, do that on the boat.
Yeah, you'll be rested. You're level 9. You're full up. This is a non-combat montage for shopping and re-upping and all that kind of stuff. So don't worry too much about the mechanics here.
All right, so we can do that long rest sort.
Yeah, just you go ahead and take it now if you want, but I'll just be transparent and tell you there won't be anything that'll threaten you between now and being able to take a long rest. So
just go ahead and do that. All right, cool. Look at that.
So shopping stuff. So Selkie, tell me a little bit about what you want to accomplish by going to the bank here.
Well, first I want to stop and get some diamonds and pearls for my spells.
Okay. I'll leave you to do the bookkeeping in the inventory channel. You can find any size that you want with the gold and trading that you can do. And why don't you list an inventory of the size and cost of the gems that you want in there, and then just subtract that from the 40K.
Okay. And then I want to deposit the rest of my 40K, or the rest of my portion of the 40K.
Okay. So you're going to go all of it? You're going to dump it all in the bank?
Well, probably not all of it. I'll figure it out.
Okay. All right. Did anybody want to shop or anything else they need to know costs on, or is that all stuff that we can do that offline too, and you just go shopping and subtract it out? Unless there's something specific y'all wanted to look for.
I like those healing potions.
Yeah.
Who's the owner of the bar again?
Durnan.
I'm gonna ask Durnan. What's it called? The Yawning Portal.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna ask him if he's interested in any partner ownership of the Yawning Portal.
He says, no. But I like your style. You're not the first one to ask, and I appreciate it. This is the one-man show here, if you know what I mean. We're not really looking for venture capital at the moment.
Even with that great big hole in the roof?
He says, that's taken care of. It's good to have good friends.
I just heard that the king was taking care of that.
Mm-hmm. He says.
So he's your silent partner.
As I understand it, he wanted to get your attention, and this is why he's fixing the roof and the pulley and the stage and covering the tab you guys didn't pay on the way out of here, but we won't mention that.
I just had water.
Kind of just did.
Yeah. What? Back in one of the other shops, I did something like there was like a random items table.
Ooh.
I rolled on. I want to go thrift shopping.
All right. Roll a D100.
Partially used healing.
Right. A 3/4 drink potion of healing. Mostly backwash.
Yes.
Got a little foam on the top, but it's fine.
29.
A 29.
Nice.
You kind of come up to this old crone stand down in the marketplace.
It's a 79. Sorry.
Oh, 79. Sorry. Let's go past that. All right. She
Unless 29 was better.
You know, in your hands, I'm never quite sure, honestly. Like, both of these things could have been something. But this one's pretty good. So you kind of roll into this place, and there's this kind of human geezer in there. He's like, hey, a goblin. Yeah, what do you want?
I want what you've got.
He says, here. And he kind of rummages around in his his junk booth and says, all right, 1 copper. He looks at you suspiciously.
I buy a copper from you, or you want 1 copper from me?
You give me a copper, and then I give you this, and then you get out of here.
Whoa, all right. And he flicks him a copper.
All right. He kind of says, bites it like with his one tooth, like. He says, all right, okay. And he hands you, shakily hands you this this folded over piece of parchment that looks like it's old. He says, you take that. And you open it up and look at it, and it says, you're cordially invited to a party at the manor of one Boobado.
They're all here.
Oh.
The manor of Boobado.
Yes.
Sounds familiar.
And he says, it's really old, so don't try to go to that party, but somebody said a murder happened there.
Ooh.
You know, a lot of these true crime people might like something like that. You might be able to sell it.
So I'll take the parchment. Was it an invitation for a past date?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so the date's already passed.
Right.
And we would remember Bupido from being the fishy guy, right?
He was a Darrow.
Darrow.
He was a Darrow, which is kind of a gnomey, a dark gnome.
He had a boat named after him.
Yeah, and he left little notes that said, was it all hail Bupido?
Worship Bupido.
Worship Bupido.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He was the
Psychopath.
He was the psychopath killer guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He has a mansion here in town.
It doesn't say where it is, but
I'll
Killed
ask
a lot of people.
Ask the guy.
he says, I don't know. It's part of the mystery.
All right. I'll ponder for a moment, and then I'll say, "Thank you," and I'll crease down, fold it, and put it with my wares.
All right, you put it in there next to Bitey and a candle that can't be lit, right?
Right. Yeah. These are all things that are going to help solve a puzzle.
Mm-hmm. This is going to be a treasure at the end of the campaign. I love it. All right. Anything for everybody else?
Nah.
What is this emporium?
This is like a junk shop where Clocks is at right now. Yep. But if you'd like to, you may roll on the D100 table, and the geezer will see what he has.
Healing potions. Where would we find those?
Mm-hmm. You can look at the. Here, I'll just tell you.
If I look at the adventuring gear,
Yeah, they're just going to be at cost, wherever they're listed at in here.
I just see a healer's kit. I don't see potions. Oh yeah, here we go. Potion of healing. I was just reading it wrong. So potion of healing, 50 gold pieces. Right.
Yep, and there's also like greater healing, superior healing, and supreme healing. So
Yeah.
you can buy any of those.
From this guy?
And you can get them here in town. The alchemists' shops or the clerics'
Pretty good.
shop will sell them.
What's the price increased for a greater potion of healing?
Good question.
And I'll probably, but like, how many do you think we should get, guys? Like, in gal? Like,
2 each.
How many do they have?
I mean, we've got some healing in the group, a little bit between Mark and I think. But if at least everybody else should have at least one, so they can heal me. Yeah.
I'll get a greater healing.
yeah, I would say like what? There's five or six of us, so
2 each.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
How much are the healing potions again?
He's looking it up.
I'm trying to find it.
Yeah, so I say 10. We'll buy 10 of them.
You want just so? I don't know
So,
what his name is.
like, we can move on and just
Volume discount.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Yeah, I don't know what you guys want to spend on potions and types. I'll find it. I'll put a link.
They make such a thing as like a potion that restores. Sorry, go ahead, Mark.
Oh, I like that more in Helm. It was like, can we buy in bulk? Is there like a Sam's Club or something like that around? A flat of supreme healing potions for like a good price?
You'll have to, for that. You'll have to do some haggling and persuasion checks and stuff and role play it.
Yeah.
With the swords we've got, I think we should be able to haggle.
The swords. not stab, haggle.
Oh, I thought they were spelled the same.
Yeah. Well.
Okay. Anything else beyond gems, healing potions, and murder letters that you guys would like to shop for?
Yeah, I like that. Nah, I think I'm good. I mean, I can use my my weapon as a arcane focus. So
I'd like to know what other kind of potions are available other than just healing potions.
Okay, it's water deep, so man, the list is long.
Total devastation.
So let me see what we got.
Like some of the potions we had when we were exploring the ruins outside of Gracklestug.
yeah,
Potion of giant size, potion of smallness.
That kind of stuff, yeah.
we still have that slippery potion too. The oil of it might not be. It was like a vial of slippery.
Mm-hmm.
Something or other.
So do you just want to peruse, or are you looking to have something specific made?
We're having a specific potion made.
Right.
Well, I'm just reading the list of potions that's on the website. There's potion of giant size, potion of clairvoyance, potion of water breathing might be useful.
Mm-hmm.
Potion of speed, potion of climbing, potion of flying.
We have a potion of water breathing.
We do?
We do.
Oh, awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, you guys have a whole bunch of stuff, which is it might be up in the inventory channel there, but I think I was a lot better at this earlier on.
A potion of greater healing we used.
Yeah.
Do we ever use the
Yeah, there's a filter of love.
Pitcher of love? The necklace of fireball. I think we used most of the necklace of fireballs.
I think we got a couple left.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I think there might be 2 left on that. So.
All right, so I did find the answer to the healing potion question for y'all.
Yeah.
Which I'll cut and paste into inventory now. But potion of healing is 50, as we said. Greater healing is 100. Superior healing is 500, and supreme healing is 1350.
Okay. Wait a minute here. All right. So what is the difference between them?
Just the number of d4s that you get to roll.
The number of d4s.
Yep.
So is it cost comparative? Like if you get the mega supreme. Getting hungry for Taco Bell.
Yeah, Burrito Supreme, Taco Supreme.
Like the Mega Supreme, and it's X plus, the D4, or would it be cheaper just to buy a couple regular potions and down them?
I don't know that it's necessarily proportional. Like, it's probably more cost effective to buy more of the smaller ones just for utility, because you end up with more healing there. But if you need to get a bunch of healing back all at once in a big fight, then it's just action economy too, right?
Okay, that's true. You can't spend 4 rounds just guzzling, chugging.
Right.
I did.
At higher levels, 2d4 plus 2 isn't going to do much to keep you up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. We got the money. We're good for it.
Drop that in there for you guys.
And I'm gonna purchase a set of manacles.
Okay.
Got some Saturday night plans?
I don't know.
They're not.
Oh man! I thought you said mandibles.
It's just me, Bitey,
Spider teeth.
Some
a candle that
handcuffs.
doesn't light, an invitation to a party, and some handcuffs.
So you're going to Chicago.
Wow. All right. So, potion of superior healing.
That sounds.
How many?
That sounds like the
How
one
many
to go for.
D4s for that one?
You think that would be the best one?
Yeah, 8 D4s. That's pretty good.
That is pretty good. Plus 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, but still, look at that supreme healing. Plus 20 right there. Boom. But, yeah, right now, I think superior is probably the best right now for us.
500 gold piece each.
Huh? Yeah. Get one each. $5,000.
Yep.
If we do 2 each.
What does everybody think? We want to drop 5,000 on some potions of healing?
Yeah. Maybe 10.
Somebody said.
Gold on living. Yeah, I think that's going to be cool. I'm down with that.
Yep, I'm down for putting 1,000 of my cash in there for one for me.
Yeah, I haven't really bought anything. I still got my cool cane with the scorpion on it. That's about all I got.
Yeah. Is there anywhere in town that sells some magic armor for you or something along those lines?
Oh.
You don't need healing if you can't get hurt.
Yeah.
Ooh, I like that.
So
How to work for you?
So you can get any kind of armor you like. As far as magic stuff goes, that's a whole different thing. That's more of a custom negotiated type thing. You have to find somebody with the right level of spells and willingness to do that. It's not quite on the shelf stuff. You know what I mean?
Gauntlet Grim's the place for that.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, that'd probably be good for that. All right, we'll go with that lead, Mornhelm, for sure.
All right.
Yeah, I guess.
Go to. Do you have enough ball bearings?
1,000 gold worth of ball bearings.
Yeah. I still have 966.
You give Bruner 100 of your ball bearings, and he give you back a magic set of armor.
Yeah.
We do that.
Yeah, I think. What did you end up saying about armor? Was there anything like if I have I think I have studded leather armor.
Yeah.
Is there anything I can do to get that fancified or?
There's not. You're on the kind of timeline that you have.
Oh yeah.
You're not gonna be able to get it enchanted or get any of that kind of stuff done. Like that's.
And we're going to a
side
dwarf
quest.
place. Yeah, we're going to a dwarf place.
Yeah, but I would say if you guys don't have the best like basic level stuff that you can get that your characters can use, I would say think about getting the best stuff. I think studded leather is probably the heaviest thing clocks can wear, right? Without penalties and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
I think everybody else is happy with what they've got. I don't know if anybody else wants to look into more different, kind of armor. I think Mornhelm, you're happy with your chainmail, right? You don't need a plate or anything like that.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Zoc, you're good with your AC, how it is, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it could always be better, but studded leather, that's about as much as I would go. Unless it was a cool, stuff.
Selkie had some magic armor, if I remember right, so I think you guys are probably pretty close there.
It's only good in the Underdark, though. I can't use it on the surface.
Right. Yeah, you have some Drowcraft stuff, right?
Yeah.
That's how the drow get you. Sell you a magic sword and you walk out in the daylight and it bends.
Yeah. Garbage.
All right. Anything else before we leave behind civilization and head back to the Underdark?
I thought we were going to a boat.
Oh, well, yes, but Gauntlet is in the Underdark.
Yeah.
Got to get there first, don't we?
Right.
I'm very happy.
Where are we gonna land? There's 2 cities down there.
Eldith will tell you that that you're going to take the boat to a smaller stream, and then the stream is going to take you upriver in a smaller boat down to the entrance of Gauntlet.
I can never remember what's the place with the tower of the Elder Tower of Mages.
Well, there's Blackstaff Tower, which is here in Waterdeep. Is that what you're talking about, or something in the Underdark?
No, it's closer. It's part of Gauntlet.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, man, so much going on in Gauntlet. There's a lot.
Yeah. It's actually a living tower.
And a box of cigars.
Yeah, right at the top. Okay.
And last but not least, then, everybody describe? You get to go proper hat shopping. What kind of hats did everybody get?
Visit the hattery.
Yeah, the haberdashery is before you.
Willis stole my hat.
So we did the pirate one already. We have those.
I mean, the eventual goal is to be pirates again, though, right?
That is true. Yeah. So is there more like flamboyant?
It's any hat you can imagine in this place. Yeah, whatever you can think of.
Prince would wear, or adamant.
Yeah, you find one with that's like a velvety green, like a very wide brim, long and floppy in the back, with a notch in the front and a super long tail feather from some exotic bird from across the seas somewhere that pokes way up.
Is there a matching jacket as well?
Yeah, he says, whatever you want, 100 gold.
All right. Yeah.
That's the one where you pull the feather out and it flies you away.
Yeah, I'll do that.
He'll do a whole dressing rehearsal for you. Get everything you want. You can be as well dressed as you want to be to your specifications for 100 gold.
I'm game.
I'm looking for a nice, chocolate brown leather sort of hat, maybe a little bit worn, with some flowers and feathers on it.
I think Keith Richards has it.
Yeah, I think so.
He says he taps his hand on his chin for a second and says, okay. And then he sort of pulls down one from back on the corner that has the brown color you were looking for, and then takes some bits off of a couple of other pieces, and then he starts stitching things together behind the thing and puts together something pretty similar to what you're looking for, and presents it for your approval.
I love it.
All right.
I'm gonna. Do we still have the Medusa's head?
Sure. It's pretty rough now.
Just reach into the bag and it's down there somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna take a few more snake heads.
Okay.
And I'm going to hand them to the fashion person and
Haberdasher.
How can you incorporate these for me, sir?
So like Selkie picks up her fresh new hat, puts it on her head, and then you're just like in the same spot, just dead rotten snakes.
make me a nice hat like that, but out of these.
Just like looks down and looks back up at you, and then says, "Let me see what I can do," and holds the trash can up next to it, scoops them into the trash bin, and then goes around the corner and brings back a hat made entirely from snake skins with fangs around the brim, looking like Crocodile Dundee, sort of.
Amazing.
And I like look at the bin that he pushed him in. And I'm like, this is magical bin. Just creates.
Just put this on my head.
Weave anything.
The trash bin of wishing.
How much for the magic trash bin?
Not for sale, sir.
Trade secrets, I see. All right, I'm set.
All right.
I'll take a nice brown derby with a razor sharp edge.
He pulls one down from the shelf and like does like a neat little trick where he sort of like rolls it end over end up over his wrist and kicks it up into the air, and when it comes down, it goes boom, 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 and it sticks into the counter. He says, "Is that sharp enough for you?"
That should do it.
All right. And he like gives it a theatrical, yanks it out, and then hands it over. Is Dak the kind of guy that walks about with his helm on all the time?
Yeah.
He says, he does, and anything for you? And he kind of looks at you and he was like, okay, never mind. Looks like you're all set, sir. All right. Any other hat role-playing to cover? Eldest's been patiently waiting out in the street while you guys finish up your shopping.
My hat.
And she says, will there be anything else before we make our way to the ship? The crew is ready.
Can we like walk out of the store like in slow motion, you know? Like,
yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Zach's got his cane and he's just, you know,
And your
top
hat is
yeah.
your hat's moving in the wind.
But in slow motion.
Right.
Yeah.
That happens.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You look fantastic.
You guys stylishly make your way down to the docks.
Excellent. Yeah. I'll cast dancing lights so every one of us has the best lighting possible on us. So,
yeah, and it's like evening time, sunset on the harbor, you know, so
golden hour.
Yeah, it's like the proper time for a sunset cruise,
Yeah.
you know.
I like it.
And you all make your way to a sturdy but medium-sized and scrubbed clean watercraft that's manned by a dwarf captain in a salty black cloak, who says, "Eldith, can we be out of here yet?" And she says, "Aye, we've brought them all. This is it. They're ready to go meet His Highness." And he says, "Great. I'll show you to your quarters." And he takes you downstairs to where a meal has been prepared. Nothing but the finest hospitality. There's wine and there's all manner of exotic liquor and hot food prepared by a chef, fresh fish and berries and nuts that you can see. But definitely the moment you kind of come on board and take it away, they definitely haul in the plank and you hear them bark an order, and then the oars lurch out and they're off to sea.
Nice.
You guys are off into the harbor of Waterdeep and on your way to Gauntlet. So let's take a quick break there, and then we'll sort of pick back up. Sound good?
Awesome. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, there's actually an like downstairs.
Oh yeah,
It's a big ship.
yeah. You have quarters. You know what I mean? Like neatly appointed. You know, this is
Yeah, the biggest ship I've ever been on was the Bubido. This is
We had to
impressive.
roll that ourselves.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Don't get above your station. The Bubido is a wonderful craft.
Yeah.
It was.
So you all set off out of the bay, and you head north along the Sword Coast out of the city of Waterdeep, and travel for a few days uneventfully, and are treated with the utmost hospitality, and you can get to know the crew members and talk with Eldith and recount all the stories and the times you shared before you guys split up. And then eventually they will sort of anchor out farther away, and then you'll leave the captain and most of the crew out in the deeper water in a small boat. Is hoisted down over the side, and Eldith and the rest of you can make your way. She says it's only a half a day's row up the river here, and we'll be at the water gate at the entrance to Gauntlet. But is there anything that you all wanted to accomplish during the voyage, or talk with about Eldith or any of the other folks before you get there over the couple of days journey?
Yeah, I want to know what she's been doing in the meantime.
Yeah, she'll tell all of you. Well, I mean, we couldn't really stay in Gracklestug when you guys didn't come back after a couple of days. We just assumed, well, either they're dead or they split, or who knows what. Well, Vargas and Ront, they went kind of crazy. I mean, they sort of just started ordering everybody around and said that they were the captain now, and they all had to they made a mad dash for the Bubido to try to get out of there when the innkeeper came back, and we didn't have any money to pay him. But then we didn't have any money to pay the old Duragar at the dock either when we showed up after he did all that work and cleaned your boat for you. So we had to kick his ass and a few of his sons, and jumped on the Bubido and took back off into the Black Lake. Poor Stool was terrified.
Oh, buddy.
Whatever happened to him?
Says, I don't know. I ditched those guys the first time I could. It was starting to get ugly.
Lies.
But she said, so as soon as I got close enough to shore where I could swim, I jumped out of there and had to make my way. Had to find a way to get back to the lower entrances to Gauntlet and find my way back to the king and my people. So I don't know what happened to them after that.
Well, you had told us you knew how to get to Gauntlet.
He says I could have the whole time, but it was 60 days travel. We never would have made it alive. And I couldn't tell you how to get there from the prison. I didn't even know where I was. She says, hey, I want to get out of there as bad as you guys did.
And you did well to get out.
And you too. What about you all? What'd you find out? What happened?
We got cut off from. We tried to get back as hard as we could. We got cut off by a dragon.
She says, yeah, we saw the big red dragon leaving the city a couple of times. Nobody was too excited about that. When he gets disturbed, the whole town kind of freaks out, you know?
You didn't have
What got him so upset?
You didn't happen to see what happened to the egg, did you?
Egg? No, what egg? What do you mean?
Never mind. No reason.
No. Okay.
Wait, hold on. Egg? What are you talking about?
For about a half a minute, we had a big red dragon egg.
What egg are you talking about?
She just sort of like stops rowing and sits up and says, What? What are you doing with an egg? How did you even get in that situation? What happened?
It's kind of a comedy of errors, and we made some bad choices.
Yeah. I expect that much. I mean,
There was a tavern in the forest. We stopped at the tavern. We found an egg.
Big gray one.
She says, "You know what? Yeah, I don't even know you guys. I don't even want to know. The important thing is you all got out of there. But I don't know what Fargus and Ron, those guys, have been up to. But they were getting bad vibrations when I left them. So
I'm sure they went back to Blingdenstone and were very happy."
She says, "You're a funny guy. I doubt that." And right around that time, you guys pull on the oars and sort of roll up, and then like sort of out of the darkness, you see it where you didn't notice it, 5 or 6 heavily armored dwarves stand up out of the bushes, and hey, who goes that? And Elvis stands up and takes her helm off and says, "It's here. It's me. It's fine. We've been offered safe passage by his grace." And they sort of look around and check with each other and nod, and they pull you guys to the outer gates of Gauntlet and take your boat and bring you inside, and you're immediately treated with the utmost hospitality and respect. And it says, "Well, you're called to audience with His Majesty, but if you like to, you may retire to your chambers, freshen up, rest if you need to, or would you like to proceed directly to His Grace?" And this fortress, this is just sort of a surface gate to it, but as they bring you into just this outer chamber, you can see that you sort of go down a winding stairs, and as you kind of spill out into the first of many levels below, just sort of the surface entry chamber, you can tell that there's this massive winding staircase, and you lean over the edge and look down. It just tunnels into the ground, just hundreds and hundreds of feet down, with torches and sconces and lights and bioluminescent fungi lighting everywhere, and many different doors and levels and activity bustling all through it.
Excellent.
I'd like to freshen up into my drow armor.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That seems wise.
Yeah. I'm feeling good about this. For some reason, I feel like I'm back home.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're just here for the Saturday night theatricals, right? Just here to play.
That's it.
Getting the band back together. That's it.
Yeah.
Eldith nods and says, "The porters will show you to your chambers, and when you're ready, His Majesty is holding court. They'll take you to the audience chamber." And she says, "I'm going to go freshen up as well, and I'll meet up with you later." And so you all are escorted into the inners of the castle at Gauntlet, the fortress. And you're shown to some well-appointed chambers with hot steaming tubs of water and fresh linens and wine and water and a dark ale on the table, bread and fruit. Anything you could think of or ask for will be brought to you under the hospitality of the king.
Excellent.
Awesome.
Yeah.
We are so screwed.
Right.
Can I order a bowl of just the red M&Ms?
It's in your contracts, in your rider, so yeah, no problem.
Okay, very good.
All right, and I'll assume, for the purposes of painting the scene, that you all are in your finest clothes that you just bought. Strutting your stuff and ready to Are you gonna go into the chamber here? Yeah.
Yep. Cleaned up all my various my special boots of jumpingness and my awesome new hat. Brushed up the feather.
Yeah, you guys are looking the best.
Yeah.
Dak, are you
soiled my leathers?
Soiled. Striding and springing, not boots of jumpingness.
Dak, he's gonna stay kind of dressed in the plate, ready for.
Yep. The only thing I'm gonna do is take my time polishing Black Razor.
Yeah. And you've got him with a gleaming edge and all the leather parts in the scabbard are all at a high polish. And he whispers sweet things to you and tells you of battles long past. Descriptions of cutting through bone and sinew of enemies and friends alike. And the only thing that's Dak, you probably it wouldn't even occur to you, but the rest of you noticed literally since Dak has had Black Razor, he's never put him down. He's always sort of been in his hand.
Right.
Like always.
He's Johnny on the spot. He's always ready to go.
Yeah.
Had to learn to eat with his left hand.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else before you move on to the audience?
I'm gonna, instead of like where I would have a look, my pocket with a nice fancy, hanky or something like that or whatever. I fashioned like a little place for Bitey to like hang out. And he can like stick out.
Oh man,
yeah,
that's awesome. Like a Bitey brooch.
Yes, like a Bitey brooch.
Yes.
Love it.
Wild.
Worst prom date ever.
You have a hanky?
No. Yeah. Well, I do. Do you want it? Do you need it?
Not now.
Yeah. It's well broken in, isn't it? Yeah.
All right. With Bitey out and ready for supper, you guys nod to the porters and they escort you farther down into the keep, and you're led further and further underground and are taken to a mighty hall in which a red-haired dwarf of fierce and proud demeanor sits upon a massive stone throne, flanked by a number of guards and advisors. Although a long stone table has been set to one side and laid out with refreshments, there do not appear to be any other guests. "Welcome, friends," says the king. "I have a mind to know about the rumblings and rumors about goings-on in the depths outside my city. If you can relate to me what you know, we can talk about what you might want to do next."
Ooh.
And so King Brunor is asking, he's saying he's heard rumors and wants to know what it is you've seen.
I would, yeah, absolutely. We're all about that.
Yeah.
Do you have anything specific that you need to know?
He strums his fingers on the stone. Yeah, femurs on the stone.
Oh no!
Don't strum your
Kind of
fingers.
creepy.
The thigh bones of his enemies.
Yes. Is it set up like a xylophone?
Yeah.
He says, "Well, let's start with the most basic. I've heard a thing or two of demon lords."
Yeah. Thing or two, or maybe even three.
3, you say? Well, that's something.
How many heads did it have?
Quite a few.
And you all can you can feel free to role play here with the king as much as you like. But let me just ask: do you intend to tell him exactly what you saw and more or less the truth, or do you want to craft a different story, or how do you want to approach this?
No, I find that nothing is more stranger than fiction. So,
right.
So we can definitely go with the truth. That is definitely the stranger of the two.
Mm-hmm.
Do we get a feel of his intent on knowing? Or like his, like, does it sound like, do we just get a vibe coming from him as far as, is he looking to squeeze us for all we know, or?
Sure. Yeah, roll insight.
Ooh. All right, good roll for the night. For the first roll of the night, I got a dirty 20.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, well done. With a dirty 20, you can see, you sort of look past, there's a surface level of courtesy, but you think the way that he kind of focuses in on your words or leans in a little more closely as you sort of describe what happened to you, you see sort of genuine concern and worry. His realm is adjacent to the Underdark, and he's looking to gather, you would think he's looking to gather as much information as he can here and try to figure out the best way to defend his people in the realm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's understandable.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I got nothing to hide. I mean, there's no reason for me to hide anything. I mean, so I'll just tell him how it was.
Yep.
So between the Demogorgon and the Demoness of Slimes.
Do you tell him in the form of a song?
Oh, absolutely. Yes, I will strum, and I'll even throw in the Ballad of Glabagool as well.
How he romanced his slimy bride.
Yes. So, basically, what I'm going to do is put on my selection of songs for our.
just listen to the playlist. Just listen to the playlist.
Come on. Yeah, here we go.
Awesome. All right. Anything else? Anybody that wants to specifically tell or not tell the king?
I'm going to as for some reason Clocks is feeling a little social, right? Maybe it's the liquid courage he had on his way down. But I'll use disguise self and I'll act out, all the various things.
That's perfect.
The ballad ensues.
Yes.
You may even find a time or two I'm up on the table and kicking for a goblet or whatnot to help, recreate maybe the carnage of fish people, or
while he's doing this, I'll cast a minor illusion and I'll highlight the points in the story that he wants to make. So whether it be like blood splatter or the tentacles behind him, the Demogorgon. Yeah, that's what I'll do.
All right. And so you guys tell him the stories of all the demon lords, the Demogorgon, and Jubilex, and
that's right.
Zuckmoy.
Gutmoy, the three. Those are the three that you had sort of direct dealings with, more or less. And he nods gravely when he hears of these things. Now, do you all want to tell him about your the goings on with Thembershad or any of that, or is that stuff you keep to yourself?
We'll leave out the part about pissing off the dragon.
Okay.
But that's a good part.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's
totally a good part.
Not impressed by it.
Well, I'm gonna say that we really pissed him off, or
We just, you know.
Or, all right, maybe we did piss him off. All right, never mind. All right, I'll take that one back.
Okay.
Man.
Clocks is up there pretending to be a dragon, and we're like,
Yeah.
oh.
I'm already doing the flames out of his mouth.
Awesome. And so at the end, he stands up and walks down and, gives a slow clap. He says, I do appreciate a good performance, and the information here is more valuable than you know. I'd like to invite you to a feast tonight so that you might meet the other guests here at the house, and at that time, I think the plans will perhaps become more clear here. Would you be my guests this evening at a grand feast?
Be my guest?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, indeed.
Little song behind that?
Uh-huh, right.
Yeah, absolutely. While I play the song.
All right. He says, I'll consider all this information carefully, speak with my advisors, and we will confer again. Thank you for your honesty and your candor and the performance.
I bow low
all week.
Yeah. And he'll sort of nod and then sweep his way out of the chamber. Would you like to fast forward to the feast that evening?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Anything else to accomplish? You have an hour or two to kill here.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think that's enough to get any magic armor, but let's see.
Yep.
May have to get.
Let's see what this
before
feast
we go
is
to
all
battle.
about. Yeah, right. Exactly. We might be outfitted.
Yep. What was that, George?
May have to get outfitted for the coming battle.
Yep.
All right. So you all return later that evening back to the same hall, the throne room, and it's immediately where before it was empty and quiet and almost sober in the room. It's now decorated with big fires and more food and wine and ale, and it is packed with all manner of strange people and guests and dignitaries who've come to visit. And right away, people have heard about you, and the court has been buzzing about the treatment of these adventurers who've just showed up back from the Underdark. And you enter the room and immediately become aware that there are members of each of the different orders present at the feast. So you have members of the Harpers, the Order of the Gauntlet, the Emerald Enclave, the Lord's Alliance, and even in the corner, sort of by themselves and snickering, is an envoy, a contingent from the Zentarum, who are over in the corner. And so you clearly see that Brunor's plan here has sort of been to pull people from every one of these different sources to his realm here and try to assemble a plan or volunteers or a team to move forward and sort of deal with this threat. So, open room, you all are free to talk to or not talk to anyone here throughout the room. The king is otherwise indisposed and is speaking quietly with his advisors at the moment. So, if you'd like to, I can give you a rundown on each of these different organizations again and kind of let you know who they are and who is representing them here, or we can go one by one. If someone's specifically interested in talking to a certain person, you all let me know.
I'm interested in talking to the Zentarum.
Mm-hmm. All right, so you make your way over to the Zents, where they have their their flag, which is the emblem of a flying snake with wings on a black and gold field. And they're sort of keeping to themselves and muttering and drinking wine over in the corner. And a sort of olive-skinned and lightly armored human woman walks up to you and says, You look like you might have something you want to ask me.
I let her know that that I'm a friend, and I give her the secret password.
Mm-hmm. Sign and countersign there.
Mm-hmm.
She nods and says, "Good. It's always nice to see a friend at something like this. I am Davra, sir. And I've been summoned here with my delegation. How do you judge this king and what he's pulled us here for? Tell me your story."
I don't think that he has the true passion of the Zentarum, but he seems earnest, and I've seen firsthand the troubles the cause for our gathering. But I don't know that the goals of the Zentarum and the goals of this Bruin are necessarily completely in alignment.
And if he should do what I expect and ask us to assist in facing this threat in the Underdark, what would be your advice? How should we react?
I'd say that we should align with him, but with the knowledge that maybe his enemies could be our allies.
And you've seen these threats, these things yourself.
I have.
This is no trick. Is this some ploy to reveal our strengths?
Somehow, some way, the demons of the abyss are now walking in our mortal realms.
She nods and says, Then I agree with you. We have to meet this threat. Our enterprises and our interests can't be served with chaos running amok with these creatures. Very well. You have our support. If we choose to go out and face this threat, me and my envoy, my guards will assist you.
And if I'm chosen to go on a special mission, I'll have your full support.
Well, that depends on the mission.
A mission to find this rift and close it?
Indeed. And she gives you the secret handshake, nods, and says, I can see how you've survived down there. Ruthless, cunning, but not uncautious. And I believe this could be a mutually beneficial relationship.
I nod and say that great power has been gifted to me to serve the Zentarum and my liege lord Bane. And I show off Black Razor.
Her eyes, you can tell she's trying to kind of conceal her surprise and maybe even a little bit of terror. So her eyes kind of go wide for a second as she sort of tilts her hand a little bit and says, I can see that. That weapon is no toy. And yes, you'll be a mighty ally indeed. I'm glad that we have had this conversation.
All right.
So you have secured the support of Davra Jasur, who herself is a human assassin, and she has a host of 8 Zentarim thugs who will also be willing to accompany you. All right. Is there anyone else in the hall you all would like to try to talk to? There are the Harpers, the Order of the Gauntlet, the Emerald Enclave, and the Lord's Alliance.
I'll tell Dak when he comes back. I think she likes you. Started showing off the sword, and she got a little shaky in the knees.
I lean in close and I say, "What's not to like?"
Amazing.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna give him a little bite mark. Well,
Watch out for biting might leave you.
yeah.
I think if I speak to anyone, I'd be speaking in the thieves' cant to see if I can pick up on anyone else being shifty like me.
Good question. So you're sort of, I would envision maybe you're doing the thing where you're sort of just talking to Zoc for a second, but you're having a, just a flippant conversation with Zoc, but like your hands are sort of working at the same time, sort of talking in a coded language, but subtly, right? And thieves can't.
Yeah.
And out of the corner of your eye, you spot what looks like a half-elf female in a cloak who's sort of leaning against the wall over near the Harper's camp. And you notice that her eyes are kind of like looking down at your hands, and then she sort of signs back to you to come and see her when you're ready.
I'll slowly make my way over, just still kind of surreptitiously speaking in thieves' cant to see if anyone else notices as well. But I'll make my way over towards her.
Sure. So yeah, you make your way over to her, and she nods at you as you come up, and she says, "Lord Zellerun, I'd like to introduce you to someone here in this. This is what's obviously a robed wizard. Turns around and says, hello. What manner of creature is this who's crawled to us from the Underdark, and with these horrid tales we've heard so many rumors about?"
I don't crawl. I swim.
He says, "Ha! Indeed you do." And as he sort of stands up and walks towards you, you can't help but notice there's this emblem sort of hanging around his neck with what looks like a big enchanted gem, sort of sliding in and out of the creases of his robe. And he says, "And tell me, is it true, the rumors? What have you seen in the Underdark? Everybody says that you all are here because you saw this firsthand, but the rest of us are just called in because of various political alliances or favors or just to have a sense of curiosity. But you all in your party seem to be different. What is it that you've seen down there?"
Oh, what are the rumors you've heard?
He says, "Well, there's mumblings of demons and chaos, and you can't believe one thing before another unbelievable rumor falls out. I don't know what to believe at this point."
We've definitely seen demons and chaos, that's for sure.
And you've seen this firsthand yourself?
Yes, unfortunately.
And if you were asked to ride out and face this chaos, if you were to push back or ask your friends to put themselves at risk to fight this, what would be your response? How should I respond?
If I had an army at my back, I'd think about it, but I will say that we've run away from each of these demons as we've come up against them.
And that is why you are here to tell the tale, no doubt.
Know when to fold them.
Yeah, he says, I sense you have a good deal of intelligence about you. Would you care to join me in a brief game of dragon chess? Maybe benefits for you at the end, and you get the sense that he's sort of sizing up your intelligence and wants to know whether you'd be a worthy ally.
Indeed. Sounds like a fun thing to do to pass this evening.
All right. In that case, I need from you, as you sit down and everybody gets up from the table and makes space, and there's a marble finely carved board with chunks on it and granites that are polished to a sheen and shine in the candlelight, and the pieces are carved out of dark wood. You guys engage in a game. Please give me a straight intelligence check.
So this is without the modifier, or?
Right, just your intelligence plus, and that's it.
What would be the what do we know about Dragon's Chess?
Yeah, it's just it's kind of all the stereotypes that you would know about chess in our world. You know,
Cool.
You guys played it a couple of times with Tappy down in the
My best friend Tappy.
Yep.
Is it like a series of? So it's like chess. So she's like, she'll play out a game of chess. Okay.
Yep. The way it's going to work is it's a series of 3 intelligence checks to just see how like in the beginning, middle, and the end of the game go.
Gotcha.
19.
Awesome. Oh, there we go. Very nice.
I'm gonna roll a different dice this time because I don't think I'm gonna roll that good again.
With a 19, you beat his first roll, and he's surprised as like your early setup and your pregame really catches him in a way he hadn't he'd seen. Maybe you learned a trick from Tappy or something that taught you a new way to set things up at the beginning.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
He looks intrigued. Give me your second check, please.
So cool. I give you Bardic Inspiration.
Oh, nice. Which is a D6?
D6. Yep.
Okay. That gives me 16.
All right. With a 16, you see why he's good at this game, and in the middle of it, he sort of finds a creative way to undo your strong beginning and then mount a counter assault. And it looks like things teeter in the balance on the last roll here.
So before she rolls,
okay.
So before she rolls,
D20.
I'm going to use Enhance Ability, which is a new spell to me.
Nice.
Pass it on other people.
And it's I'm going to use Fox's Cunning, which gives the advantage on intelligence and on intelligence checks. And so what I'll do is I'll come over and I'll say, maybe a little inspiration from Bitey, and I'll like I'll see if she wants me to pin Bitey on her her lapel.
Great.
Yeah, Bitey brooch. Awesome.
Yeah.
And on top of that, if I can do another Bardic Inspiration,
Yes,
just for the killing blow.
Plenty of time in between the rounds and stuff like that for you guys to buffer up. So no problem.
Right.
So you got advantage and a D6, Selkie.
Oh, natural 20!
Hey!
Nice.
For the record, you had on his roll you had to beat a 24.
Wow!
To do it in the natural 20. So he's sort of there's like a moment where he's just like kind of smug, and he starts to move in his cavalry around your flank, and you can see that he's sort of laid a pretty good plan out to trap you, but then at the last minute you use an ancient rule that nobody knew about that Tappy had to teach you, and you castle at the last minute or move your rooks in a flourishing way, and then you have him twin there, and then everybody around the table starts like, oh, I haven't seen him lose a game in years. Oh my god!
What did she do? How did she do that?
Yeah. And
I'll wink at people.
Lord Zelleroon sits back, astonished, and studies the board and shakes his head for a minute, and then kind of just looks up at you and smiles and gives you a hearty laugh, and he says, "What an excellent ally you must be to these people. To be able to defeat me in a game like this is no small task, and I pledge you this support." And he takes the amulet that he was wearing off from around his neck and and hands it to you, Selkie.
Wow!
To wear around your neck.
Wow,
says,
I put it on.
That's awesome. Yeah.
He says, "Have you ever seen one of these before?"
I haven't. This is stunning.
Well, this is a amulet of my own creation, a control amulet, actually. And I will want it back, but in your pursuit of the greater good here, and please consider the Harpers an ally, and you may, on this quest, take my shield guardian with you. And you would know that a shield guardian is basically a giant freaking bucket of hit points steampunk robot that follows you around and can store spells and do all kinds of crazy stuff.
Sweet.
Yeah. So you are now in control of a shield guardian.
All right.
All right. Does anybody else want to speak with any of the other guilds that are present in the hall here?
Have we got an Assassin's Guild?
So, the remaining ones, not a specific Assassin's Guild. There is an Order of the Gauntlet, which is sort of Holy Crusaders, justice, honor, all those sort of things. There is the Emerald Enclave, who are more associated with strength in the wilds, druidic magic, associations with nature, things like that. And then there is the Lord's Alliance, which is sort of a political and economic coalition of highborn folks.
Hard pass from me on all three.
All right.
I ask you guys, hey, do you want to join the Zentrum with me? Sounds like your people.
I thought that was just normal.
Zoc, or not, Clocks, well, the Bitey will start to kind of like, and I'll be like, I think Bitey.
Let me remove this. I don't want your hands behind my chest again.
So as I affix Bitey back to the, my lapel, and I like straighten my cap and, polish my nails and, get my finest cigar and put it in my mouth and, pull up my belt, try to make myself look nice and healthy. What was the last one, the political highborn one?
Yeah, the Lord's Alliance.
Okay. I'll be like, yeah, sorry guys, I strive for a higher echelon these days. I got this one, and so I'll head over to that one.
All right. And you're like the most finely dressed goblin of all time, basically. You're strutting up. They're all sort of standing about, and there's no beer drinkers over here. Everyone has like high, thin goblets with deep red wines and other sparkling, expensive liquors. And their leader appears to be this half-elf noble woman named Aravian Hound. And she's sort of looking with interest over at the king's table and what they're up to, and she looks and you kind of she's just kind of like looking right past you as you kind of walk up.
Okay.
Jeez, I'll lean into Clocks. I'll just kind of whisper. I'll go, hey, when in doubt, pinky out. And I'll just pass by.
So I'll like walk up and kind of like trying to like match her gaze as I like get there and kind of like try to look like I'm looking at what she's looking at, with a very look,
Right. And so you see her sort of like turn her head like she's trying to pick up a bit of a conversation from across the room, and then she goes to sip her wine, and you just see her nose go, and she sort of looks around and then looks down, and like her eyes get big. Says, yes, how can I help you?
And I'll just I'll look and I'll say, yes. How may I help you?
Yes. Classic play.
She says, "Oh, you must be with the adventurers, that sort over there, the hirelings who the king has brought here, the thugs, yes?"
Thugs, hirelings, yes. Some may have called us that in the past.
Does she look over at us?
Just once.
Oh yeah, just the tiniest of gestures over at the group, like
I'll still catch it, and I'll be like,
and I'll try to respond in kind, and I'll say, yes, and you're over here, the hoity-toity goon squad.
Clax, you gonna write a book on making friends?
She kind of looks down and sips her wine again, and then looks back up and almost, she doesn't let it be seen too much, but almost begrudgingly like turns to face you to have a proper conversation instead of like, scanning the room.
Yeah.
Just kind of like very well, and and she sort of looks down at you and says, "Well, we have heard troubling rumors, my people, handmaids and servers and such. They do tell me of all these ghastly rumors. Surely they can't be true, but you've been down there, yes, apparently?"
Yes, we have. We spent a good amount of time down there as we, amassed our riches and gained our spoils and traveled from corner to corner. Yes.
Oh, it all sounds exhausting. I don't know how anyone could even do such a thing. But
well, it's okay. Our servants take care of most of the busy work.
I should hope so. What else do you pay them for?
If we pay them.
She says, "Oh, I see. A sense of humor is not escaping you and your people. Perhaps you're beyond the reputations of the others of your sort."
Yeah. Do we have a name for our crew?
I think. So she's referring to like goblins in general.
Oh, goblins in general.
She's being racist.
Yeah.
Very, super snooty racist. Yeah.
Yes, and but I don't get it. I'll just because I didn't get it. So I'll try to say something. I'll say yes. The unfortunate ones, of course.
Yes. Indeed, these unfortunates. What are we going to do with them? Nonetheless, we are not without our social obligations, you understand, and so here we find ourselves. And I must admit to a curiosity as to what His Grace is up to by bringing all these people here. And what is it? What is your take? What do you believe it is that Brunor wants from all this?
I find it as, and I pull out my cigar and I turn it, and as I'm carrying some dark liquid matter of some whiskey, and I'll look at it. I'll say, I feel as he treats it as a nice and tightly wrapped cigar. You have to protect what you like, and you have to. It comes with age. It's not good at the beginning. It's not what you want from the start. But in the end, if you wait for it and you work for it, it turns into something delightful, and sometimes dark, and sometimes aromatic, and sometimes plentiful, and
Yep. She says, well said. Spoken like a true member of the investor class. I cannot believe it. I sincerely apologize. I must have misjudged you. But do you believe that truly that investing resources in this quest, this foolhardy adventure into the darks is a good idea?
And I say, oh, go for it. What did you say?
Just then I walk by and say, "Get this refilled, wench," and hand her my cup.
She says, I
just keep walking.
You hold it out to her, and she just like doesn't even move. And, like you just like drop it at her feet.
And I'll say, don't mind him. He was the one that got hit on the head a few times through the adventures.
No, the poor fellow. Maybe I'll have my cleric see to him. We'll ask.
But just as there are some of us as unfortunate as him, we must protect. Those are the building blocks of our society. What would we do without them? You know, the king's ventures are to uphold the society that we cherish and that we come to expect. Nobody wants change, right?
Yep. Go ahead and make a persuasion roll at advantage to see if you can garner the support of the Lord's Alliance.
And afterwards, I'll offer her as I say that, I'll pull out my box of cigars and I'll say, "Do you fancy yourself smoke?"
He says, "Oh, I never touch this stuff, but I'm sure my men will appreciate it." And she'll take one and sort of, you tell she like doesn't know how to hold it, you know.
All right, so I'm rolling D20. What kind
of persuasion at advantage?
Oh, at advantage. Okay, good. Persuasion. Let's see what I have in that.
Can I come up at that point?
Sure.
Yeah. And I go, "Hey, what am I?"
What did you do? Sorry, I was looking at my D&D Beyond.
I'll do my best Animal House.
John Belushi.
Yeah.
Explosion.
Puts the cottage cheese in his mouth. I'm a zip.
Oh my.
And I just walk away.
She'll say, "That tiefling is a PIG pig."
I got a 18.
That is pretty darn good. You have convinced.
I'm actually pretty good with charisma. I'm pretty good.
Yeah. The lady Arabian Hound has been persuaded by you and agrees to provide you with 5 hired dwarven guards, which you'll be in control of. And also, she says, and if a lighter touch is needed or alternative means seem to be the way, please make use of my household. Shall we call them information gatherers, or those of a gentler nature, and you'll also have control of 3 human spies.
Oh.
Who she'll provide to you as part of that. So, with a brief recap, Dak has secured 8 Zentarim thugs and an assassin to accompany them. Selkie has procured a shield guardian from the Harpers, and Clocks has 5 dwarven guards and 3 human spies. You have not spoken with the Emerald Enclave or the Order of the Gauntlet yet. Would anybody like to speak with any of these folks?
Tell me about the Gauntlet.
The Order of the Gauntlet is known as mostly as a group of holy-minded crusaders, all about justice and honor. Those things, sort of proper knights, definitely on the lawful good side of things.
Oh, well.
Hard pass.
Well, before you do this, I'll tell you as I leave. After she gives me that stuff, as I leave, I kind of like take back this sort of like almost like water balloon kind of thing that I had, almost like a sack full of liquid that looked somewhat, like green and did not look appealing. So we'll just say things went well. So I guess I put this little sort of I had a little water balloon, bad smelling thing. Yeah, that was. I pocketed that as I left the conversation. So, and I'll come up to Mornhelm and I'll say, "Hey, I guess I didn't have to use this." And it doesn't smell very good. I'll tell you that.
Awesome.
But there's a couple other groups we could go talk to. So I'll give it to Mornhelm.
I walk over and I try to find LD. I think she's here somewhere.
Try to find Elda?
Really,
yeah.
Elda's, yeah.
Yeah,
and,
sure.
And I start to talk to her.
Okay. About anything specific, or you just want to?
Yeah, I want to know how close the demons have come to Gonalgrim, that the king is this concerned, and are we presently in a battle, or is it just imminent? And is it just Gonalgrim, or is it some of the other enclaves that are attached?
Yeah, she smiles as you sit down, and she breaks off a conversation with a couple other folks and comes to sit down with you, and then calls over another drink and says, "Well, no one here has seen them. I mean, I saw the Demogorgon with you, of course, at the Dark Lake, but the rest of it, no one has seen them here. They haven't made it to our borders yet, but we know it's only a matter of time." No, we're not currently under attack, but Brunor has only just secured this place in the last 10 years or so, and he's not taking any chances with having something happen again with all the suffering his people have gone through just to secure it.
But nobody else other than us has made contact?
You're our best source. These others here are here because of their connections and the possible resources they can bring to the table, but the rumors we heard about you seem to indicate you have all the best sources of information and first-hand knowledge of what's going on. I suspect it's because anyone else who's come in contact with these creatures is either dead or charmed or otherwise unwilling to speak with us.
Well, we never, of course, have ever thought about doing anything safely. So we're here.
She says, "And that's why I like you, friend," and claps your shoulder across the table.
And knocks me half off my chair.
Exactly. Yeah, she's got traps like a weightlifter for sure.
And I knew when I was carrying her around on my back that this is a little lightweight.
Yep. She says, and I haven't forgot you. I'll be going with you.
How strong is Bruner's army? If he was to call in his reserves and from the other places like Mithril Hall and the rest, how big an army can he bring in?
She nods her head and leans in and says he wouldn't want me sharing this with you, but his own forces are still depleted. We haven't even gotten back to our strength of the battles it took to take this place back, and this place is not as well garrisoned as it might appear. And yes, allies may come from other places, but to where and when do we bring them here and then set out into the Underdark and march on whom? It's no one knows where they'll strike, and you can't just meet them in the field with an army if you don't know where they are.
What about the Drow? Are they still at your gates? Or underneath you?
We've only just got rid of them. Filthy scum.
Are they still underneath you, those backstabbing bastards?
Any chance they get, they will use any opportunity they can to get back in here and take this place back from us. They can't be trusted an inch.
So we're screwed.
She says, the odds do not appear to be in our favor.
Do you have scouts in field?
There are a few, but they range out. They come back a few days, and there's nothing much to report. No. I fear that if they did tell us, it would be far too late anyway, because there's not enough of them.
Yeah, whatever they saw would be right behind them as they ran back.
She says, but I do put my trust in the king. If anybody can marshal the resources to mount a true resistance, it's him.
I've never heard anything bad about him. So.
Good man, cautious and wary, but at his core, he cares for his people.
Like that hammer.
The hammer indeed. The hammer and the throne.
Yep. Well, what do you know about the Emerald? Is that who? Yeah, that's left, right?
The Emerald Enclave. Yeah.
What do you know about the Emerald Enclave? Would you spit on them?
She says, I don't distrust them, but they're a tough lot to read. Not used to. They might just be out of their element. They're not used to castles and dining halls and such like this. They'd much rather be out in the field. So, while I don't know them or trust them, I don't distrust them either. They definitely have a reputation for being more neutral. And our dwarven kin amongst them seem to be okay.
Who else do they have?
She says, you'll want to talk to Marista. She's brought some resources here. She may be willing to commit, but like everyone else here, they don't have enough to go around. There's never quite enough. And so she'll be hesitant and cagey about what she's willing to send our way.
Okay. Say hi to the king for me. I can get up
She nods.
and leave.
Yep. Would you like to talk to Marista?
I'll head that way.
Okay. Another dwarven woman sort of sizes you up as you come towards her, but she's not clad in heavy armor and with shields like the mountain clans would be. She's a much lighter garb, leathers and high-laced boots, and of a lighter build, but nonetheless looking at you cagily. She says, so you've seen them then? I assume that's why you're here, eh?
Yeah. And you haven't seen them in all your time in the woods?
I can't stand being down here below ground. No opening, no connection to nature. How can one even survive?
Have you seen any scorched earth? Have you seen any sign of demons?
Nothing above ground. Nothing so bold as all that. But If the rumors are to be believed, it won't be long. She says,
"Would you be willing to at least give that much?"
Do we trust this king? Can he be relied upon?
You're a dwarf. You know bad dwarves?
Oh,
Besides the Durgans, the dark and the gray.
Yeah.
He's none of those.
Yeah, that's true. I've met a few, and his people do seem to honor him here.
They do.
Well, tell me what you've seen. How frightened should we be? We can just retreat into the woods if anything hits the major cities. Survive, run, hit, hide.
They have their demons. Every rumor, every story that your mother told you to make you go to bed, they're out there. They're all good.
She nods and says, and if these were your kin, your people, and she points to the people behind her, would you send them in there? Do they have a chance?
Well, there's always a chance. I'd like to know more about them. I'm always looking for good spies and good people that can find their way around without being found around.
She nods and says, well, I suppose I could potentially spare these 3 scouts. And she points over at 3 lithe and intelligent-looking other dwarves, and she says, but truly, we do not have the resources of the Lord's Alliance, rich snobs, or the Zentarum with their vast networks and riches. Truly, this does hurt us. So, Mornhelm, give me a persuasion check at advantage to try to convince Marista to commit her resources to your cause.
Yeah. Since I don't have any persuasion, it makes it harder. So I rolled a 9 for a total of 8.
All right. She says, I'm just not sure. Our forces aren't what they are. I don't think we can commit these to you at this time unless there's anything else I don't know about.
Remember this night, and remember that when it comes time and your people are under attack, we'll be there for you.
She nods and she says, I don't usually trust these humans, but you, I think you're different. And I believe you. And these 3 have come here willing and knowing that this may be asked of them. And so she agrees to send her scouts with you.
Sweet.
And she says, oh, and by the way, they wouldn't let them bring us in here, the snobs, but there's also their mounts. Oh, and plenty for you and your 5 friends as well.
Thank you. That's very generous.
And so you all have gained the assistance of 3 Emerald Enclave scouts. Each of them comes with their own giant riding lizard, and you all have a giant riding lizard as a mount.
What?
Who would not let a riding lizard into a Underdark? They're natural born.
Marista says, I know.
Maybe they thought you got them from the drow. I'll straighten them out. That's not true. They ride them.
All right.
Thank you.
She nods and says, truly you are a man of the people, and just remember, we may call upon you to make good your claim one day, if none of this goes well. Right.
I'll be there.
I'll be there for you. And with that, I play the Rembrandts. I'll be there for you. The Friends theme song.
And while Zucker's playing that song, I wander over and I get close and I say, "That's all the smoke I had to blow up around."
Well done.
Clocks taps his pointy nose.
All right. Assuming no one is going to talk with the Order of the Gauntlet, as you guys said, correct?
No, but we all stand in front of them.
But Mark,
We all stand in front of them.
I'll go over and talk to them. They seem like a lonely bunch.
And I'll be like, Mornhelm, give him the water balloon, the stinky water balloon.
Yeah. I'll fill up a platter of drinks and bring it over to these sorry saps.
All right, you kind of get a tray of the finest dwarven ale there that they can fill up for you, and you take it over in your tiefling robes, and there's the leader of the pack seems to be this Sir Laniver Strahl, and he looks down and says, "Greetings, friend. I see you've brought some libations for my men. Quite generous of you, thank you."
Well, yes. It looked like you needed some, so here they are. Enjoy.
It's been a long journey, and I'm sure the lads could like to drink up. So he'll pass the tray around.
Do so. Drink up.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Wow, you look like
a spit in two of them.
Like. No, that would be the goblin over there. So. Don't mind him.
He's sort of clad in like this super shiny silver chainmail, and his the long sword on his hip that like glistens in the sun, and long golden curls and a smile. And he says, "Tell me, friend, tell me, how did you keep your faith down there in the depths? I've heard rumors, and they've been flying around the evening all night, that you've seen quite some horrors. Gods protect us."
Why, yes.
Some bad guys.
Faith?
Oh, yeah, yes, of course.
Yes, of course. There were quite many horrors down there in the abyss. Demon lords and all sorts of shenanigans from them. I'm feeling very uncomfortable right now.
Yeah, he sort of looks at you curiously and says, "Well, I'm sure you had the power of your gods behind you, and I saw you through the day, I'm sure."
And with that, I take my drink and I just down it. Of course I did.
Careful, that dwarven arrow's been known to go to your head.
Yes, the power of my yes. So, anyway, enough about me. What about you?
Well, surely you've heard the stories, but I won't bore you with those. I'm sure that.
Oh no! Do please bore me with them.
Regale you with the heroism of our gauntlet, spreading the good word and fighting darkness and evil at every turn, and
that sounds
gentleness and all the. We must bring order to the realm at the end of the day. And tell me, I must say, your friend over there, he has the look of quite a strong paladin, and he sort of like looks over your shoulder at Dak, and he says but I don't think I'm familiar with that sigil on his hand. Which is it that he serves?
Oh, the paladin, and I mistakenly look at clocks. Like, oh, yes, a paladin, yes.
I'm feeding
the sigil. I'm not so good with that. I honestly don't know myself. How about we call him over? Dak! Come on over, sir. Hey, I got one left on the tray for you.
I almost fall over when I roll my eyes.
Yes.
He says, yes, good sir, please share a drink with my men and I. I'm sure you've seen a battle or two, eh?
More than a few.
I see that, and it's good to see
Not
that
enough.
even
Definitely not
even
enough.
down in the Underdark, there's those spreading the faith and spreading the good word and the holy word of all the gods of the good pantheons. In the Underdark is where we're needed most, and missionary work truly is service unto itself. Wouldn't you agree?
It really is. Isn't that right, Dak?
Yes, I'm definitely on a mission.
Yeah. Mission. A mission from the gods.
I definitely am.
Yes.
Gad.
Yes. The gods. And
Gad.
yeah.
I'm a mission from Gad.
And these primitive folk you encounter down there, these fishes and orcs and drows and Durgars, how are they converting to the greater religions? How is that effort going?
So far, so good. The ones that don't convert get converted some other way.
Converted to something else.
Yep.
Well, yes.
He says, and if I'm sure that the king has this in mind, if I were to commit my men to this cause, would you do that with your men? Would you entrust them with? Would you just have them risk their lives for this?
Oh, they'd be at no more risk than any of the rest of us.
Well said. And what is it? What can you tell me? What have you seen down there?
The gates of the abyss have opened.
His eyes get wide. He says, surely it can't be that bad. Rumors, speculation, the unwashed masses. Obviously, this can't be true. Tell me it's not true.
We've seen creatures that would drive you mad.
He nods and says, these are the rumors, and an honest paladin as yourself, a holy man, I'm sure could tell no lie.
Wow, somehow the entire room did a simultaneous spit take.
My ale.
He says,
I take the unfinished drink from Dak's hand and I down it.
He nods and says, and well, while these men are willing to die for any physical cause, they are in my charge, and I am responsible for their afterlife and for their education in the ways of the religious. Can I trust you to maintain their education and make sure that they're pray and maintain and given the guidance of a true and proper Lord?
I'm sure I'll teach them something.
I tell Dak, good answer. Yes, of course you will. Being the noble paladin that you are.
Well, I take you at your word then, sir, but I must admit I've never seen this emblem before that you're carrying around you. Because don't you have a and tell me if you don't, and we can let it slide. I think you probably have a emblem of Bane somewhere on your clothing or something, right?
Around my neck, the Iron Fist of
Right.
Bane.
Right. And so he says, I'm not familiar with this one. What is this? What is this emblem of which god?
This is the Iron Fist of Bane, the Tyrant Lord.
And he drops his drink. And just smashes on the floor. He says, surely I thought I had seen it wrong, but this is an evil god. This is not spread the good.
I look down at his broken glass on the ground and I just stomp on the glass.
Oh my god.
This is when you should pull out the golden sword.
I look in and I ask, does anyone need another round?
Let her talk to him for a while.
He says, I just don't know if I can ask my men to accompany you on this mission, and if you guys would still like to try to gain the assistance of the Order of the Gauntlet. This will be persuasion at disadvantage.
I think this
disadvantage.
This is definitely Zock's territory.
All right.
Oh. All right.
Give yourself bardic inspiration.
Yes.
Can I assist?
But it's other than you. I can't give myself bardic inspiration, unfortunately. But anyway,
we'll give it to me. I can make the roll. I can make the roll.
You gotta make the roll.
Either Dak or Zoc, but it is going to be disadvantage due to the evil god.
Well, I'll give you the bardic inspiration.
Is that a D4 or D6?
D6, sir. You got this?
Yeah.
Are you
Disadvantage.
sure?
Got the D6.
Looking for a 15.
Ooh, I got 15 exactly. Got an 8 on the dice, and I have a +7.
All right. Sir Laniver Strail says, he says, very well, I will commit these men to this cause for the greater good, but I ask you a favor before I do so. Don't educate them in the ways of your God. They will tend to their own holy studies.
That is a fair bargain.
Enough said. Yes.
My fingers are crossed, but you can't see that.
All right. And despite the odds, you have won the support of the Order of the Gauntlet as well. Mark, you will have control of 5 veterans of the Gauntlet, NPCs, to command as you will. And Sir Laniver looks back and says, well, I don't suppose you'd have any use for a magic weapon? Is everyone well equipped in your party?
What?
What do you got?
Of course, it'll have to be a cleric or a paladin.
Oh.
Of good or neutral alignment.
Oh.
Is it easily fooled?
Can you
Oh,
look like a
Lordy.
cleric all of a sudden?
As far as I know, no one's going to fit the
LDs?
I'm going to say
requirements here.
we're good. We're good.
Good. We're not good.
We got this. We got this. No, we're not.
Get the weapon.
You know, exactly. So, yeah, we got this.
All right.
Yeah, looks like you might need it, so you just hold on to it.
Right. All right.
What
well
cool
done,
weapon
y'all.
is it?
He sort of slides a warhammer back into his belt.
Oh, very nice. All right. Yeah. Got no
Sure,
need for that.
You sure that Mornhelm can pretend to be a cleric for a few minutes?
That's what I'm saying. How gullible is he?
He's fine. The weapon just won't work. It would just be a warhammer for you.
Wow.
You may be able to fool him, but yeah, it's not going to attune for you.
Garbage. You got that cool mace, though.
Yeah,
True.
I'm fine.
All right. Just about that time, Mornhelm, you all hadn't noticed, but Brunor has slipped out of the hall, and Eldith comes up and grabs you by the shoulder and whispers in your ear. She's like, Mornhelm, if you'd be so kind, take your party. The king wishes another private word with you in his chambers.
So I whistle and circle my hand and point to the room.
All right.
I turn around in circles in the same
I get the other finger.
And then whistle twice and sit down. Yeah.
circle a completely different finger, walk the other way.
Yeah.
Wait for a treat. Uh-oh, I said the T word. The dogs are both looking at me.
So, you guys all, I'm assuming, circle up and head to go speak with Bruno again.
Yeah.
Sure. And you arrive in his private chambers, and he says, "I told the allies you met tonight what you told me. And as you may suspect, I invited them here to learn what is happening, share what we know, and get their backing for what it is I propose. You have braved the Underdark and lived to tell the tale. You know, better than anyone, what it is we face, but we need to know more." He says, "The Zentarum have a stake in the secret underground trading post called Mantle Dareth. If you can get them on our side, they'll guide you there, where you can meet with one of their agents, Kazarim Delok. And he can provide you with a map to Graven Hollow. It's a legendary place built long ago by the Stone Giants, said to contain all the knowledge of the depths. If there's answers to be found for what has happened, you might find them there, if you're willing to go back, that is."
Well, we've been away so long.
He says, "Got a good sense of humor for one who's seen such horrors, but I don't propose to send you back unprepared. Those gathered here, as you've noticed, will send their commitments to you, and I'm glad that they have. From all I've seen and heard, you are the only ones who can do what needs to be done. So, what say you?" And that's where we're going to stop.
Yay!
All right.
Now, remember when you ride your lizard to tie yourself to the saddle. I'd love to run along the ceiling.
Don't be dumb like Obi-Wan and fall off your lizard in the middle of the battle.
Don't do that.